Welcome back to Theater Talk Boston. We are so pleased to be joined by Crystin Gilmore, who plays Headmistress Frances in Schoolgirls, or the African Mean Girls play, currently playing through May 25th over at SpeakEasy Stage Company. Hi, Crystin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. So for those who aren't too familiar with Jocelyn Bio's fantastic play, could you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
Absolutely. So it's a play set in 1986 in Ghana, West Africa. It's about six girls in high school who are, it's the story of friendship. It's a story of them trying to get along with a queen bee, Paulina, and she's trying to stake her claim mostly over this beauty pageant that she definitely wants to win.
Right. I was really shocked to learn that Jocelyn partially based this off true stories, and I did some research into the 2011 Miss Ghana contest, but I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that, if you know anything about that.
Absolutely. So the contestant was a Minnesota-born biracial woman whose middle name was Erica, and so she or the officials found her and decided that they thought that she looked more of the aesthetic that is pleasing, meaning she's a light-skinned woman, long, more wavy than curly, tight-textured hair of a Ghanaian woman, and they thought that, oh, wow, she may be the ticket in. So they claimed to have known that she had a father who is Ghanaian and that she was going to be their way into getting hopefully into the top 10, hopefully winning. She did not place at all, and they allowed her to be Miss Ghana over models that are well known in Ghana. So that's pretty much the basis of how this whole thing started.
Wow.
As well as Jocelyn's mother went to EBRI, the school that is discussed in the production. So it discusses boarding schools and the relationships that are formed there.
Right. That's so fascinating and such an interesting and insightful play. I really loved it. The play premiered down in New York at MCC Theater back in 2017, and I've been hearing so much about it, and I'm so excited that Boston audiences are finally getting the chance to see it. Were you familiar with the work before you signed on to the project?
I was. I had actually auditioned for it in New York.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, and I auditioned for the role of Headmistress, so I was very excited to get the opportunity to actually portray Headmistress in SpeakEasy's production.
And could you tell our listeners a little bit more about your character and how she's important to this play?
Absolutely. So Headmistress Frances, she's stern but fun. She's loving, but she also wants to make sure she develops girls who are able to conquer the world. Education means everything. She has the girls say it's the only thing that no one could ever take away. So it's very important to her that the girls know, in spite of their desires to be in this pageant and to shine, that their intelligence outweighs all things.
Right, right. And I'm sure most people are familiar with Tina Fey's movie Mean Girls and now the musical down in New York. And it's even in the title, or the African Mean Girls play. Did that movie or that franchise in any way influence your role in this or influence the production overall?
I'd say, so Jocelyn says that it does kind of relate to the whole high school, a situation of girls that can sometimes be bullies, who can also fat shame. So it does have a slight influence. Also, I guess you could say as far as the relationships that are being built and how sometimes you learn what true friendship is and how you can work on that. But Jocelyn's play is all girls, whereas Tina Fey's version has boys, and it's about, girls kind of fighting over a boy, where this one is about solely the relationships with the girls, and it deals more with colorism.
Right.
So it does have something to do with it. I think her main objective was trying to show that even girls in Ghana have the exact same situations and relationships as all over the world when it comes to friendship and when it comes to girls having their own ideas of how situations should go, and the high school cattiness that comes along with the time frame or time period of girls.
Exactly. So you guys have been open a week or two now at this point. How have audiences been responding to the show, and what do you hope that they take away from it?
Oh, my goodness, that's such a great question. Audiences are seeming to enjoy it. We've had people who've come back, who are leaving and telling people.
Mm-hmm. I plan on bringing my friend next week again. I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
One thing I've heard very often is that they're riding the wave with us, and that we feel like we're a genuinely close-knit cast, and we are.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to say the same thing?
Yeah, I was going to ask because I follow SpeakEasy on Instagram, and I see you guys do the takeovers, and you're always hanging out, always going to get dinner in between the two shows. So you guys, it
Aww.
really looks like you are a very tight-knit family.
Thank you. We truly are. And I would thank Summer Williams, our director, for that, because she made sure that before every rehearsal we breathed together. We would talk about our day. So we had already developed this relationship in a safe space to be vulnerable and available to the text. And it just really, it showed up on stage. One thing I hope that people take away from the show is a different look at self-love, and also an expanded view of what beauty truly is,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
That's my hope.
As you just mentioned, Summer L. Williams is the director, and she did a fantastic job. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the research process when you guys were starting. Did you look into schools over in Ghana and the current climate over there, or anything like that?
So, yes, we looked into in the 80s. We wanted to see what Ghana was like in the 80s, what the girls wore, what they looked like. We did a lot of research on Avery Girls' School, their school colors, what their uniforms were, how they wore their hair. We looked into the school's motto, which is very much so centered around education with a stern hand and discipline, if necessary, with love. We also realized and looked into the fact that during that time, and still today, colorism is a big issue.
Right.
And we discussed this in the play as far as skin bleaching is concerned. But also in Ghana's mission statement at Abri, they had a little snippet about making sure that people weren't being bullied. And I was like, wow, current day right now. You can look it up, and it's in the mission statement. And so here we are discussing a play set in the 80s, and that is still in their mission statement today. So, unfortunately, it is a part of the world and the climate in schools. One thing I will say I love about Abri is that the girls are in uniforms. They are all dressed the same. They all have the same hairstyle. So hopefully my hope is that it would lessen the amount of bullying that could go on, because it's one less thing to discuss, right?
Right.
Now, present day, someone could say, oh, I can afford this new handbag, or look at my new Apple Watch or something like that. Whereas in this school, they can't say that. They all look the same. They had to find other things, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's great. So you're no stranger to the SpeakEasy stage company. You were also in their production of The Color Purple, which unfortunately I was not in Boston for, but that's all anyone talks about is their production of The Color Purple. So I just wanted to ask, what is it like coming back to SpeakEasy and performing in Boston?
SpeakEasy feels like a family. They care about their actors. They make you feel like you are a part of the family. And I never broke relationships once I finished The Color Purple. I would stay in contact via Facebook or email. I have always felt warm, welcomed, appreciated, and like everyone who comes in, they want to make sure that you are your best self so you can present your best work. So I am so appreciative to them, and I would come back forever and a day if they'd ever have me.
I love that. Also, tomorrow night is a very special day because you'll be performing a cabaret over at Club Cafe in the Napoleon Room Tuesday, May 14th at 7:30 p.m. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, thank you so much for mentioning that.
Of course.
So I am a girl who loves to sing.
Yes.
And to me, a song is nothing but a monologue put to music. And so to get to sing songs that I love, I feel like my spirit was born in the 60s and the 70s. And that's the kind of music I love. I love the old greats. I love Etta James. I love Aretha. I love Nina. I love Tina. And those are some of the artists whose music I will be singing. It just touches my soul. I'm a soul singer, so I like to sing from the depths of who I am, and I love to share. So if you can come out, or if anyone you know can come out, please come. I am a sharer. I want to be in that moment with you and just receive your energy and give you mine.
Yes, I'm headed down to New York tomorrow, and I'm so upset that I'm missing this.
It's okay. I'll
Next
feel
time.
your energy
Next
with
time.
me.
Thank you.
That's great.
One question that we'd love to ask all of our guests here on Theater Talk Boston is, you've done many musical and play in your life, and we always love to talk about onstage mishaps. So like either the curtain falling down or someone skipping half of the script. Do you have any fun stories you could tell us?
So far, I truly haven't been in any. I will tell you, this is what I heard from Ark, our stage manager, the other day. Tenna, who is one of our castmates, she plays Mercy in the show.
Yes.
So while they were getting ready to do a transition from part one to part two, one of the lunch trays, some of the food fell off, and instead of our stage manager having to figure out how to get it back on the tray, Tenna, during the little dance-off section, she just picked it up, put it as they moved the table, and then took it off the stage. And Ark was like, Tenna gets the golden star.
Yes. That's another thing I love about this production. Like the scene changes and the dance breaks. So fun.
Oh, thank you.
I just love it so much. Well, Crystin, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Everyone, please go see Schoolgirls or the African Mean Girls play. It's playing through May 25th. You can get your tickets at SpeakEasyStage.com or BostonTheaterScene.com. And for us students, they have Student Rush an hour before with your ID at the box office. So everyone should please go see the show. You will not regret it at all. And thank you, Crystin, so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
You as well.